Drummers Against Implied Timekeeping, Richard D. Albus. How to join a band. I want to share with you some of the basic principles that I can come up with that I think are best for any drummer to join a band. Now, as a disclaimer, obviously this is my opinion, so bear with me. I've been playing drums for 51 years and playing out, I think, maybe, over 45 years. And I can recall when I was a young kid, back in the old days, the early 70s, you would have the local newspaper would run ads for musicians, and I actually, my dad would take me to one or two of them, I remember, to play with another group to see what it was like. And I look back on those days and I just cherish them, because you want to play and share, what you know on the drums with other musicians and have fun. But the basic ideas I want today, because there's so much being offered to you, you have so many avenues online to join a band. And I'll just give you the general rule of thumb. And incidentally, a lot of it's contradictory. So I'll say one thing and then I'll say another thing, and they don't make sense, but they make sense to me to a certain extent. All right? The first rule of thumb is to eliminate what you do not want to do. Just don't bother with it. If you're sure of it, eliminate it. And then open yourself up to the possibility of what you may want to do. Because you already know what you definitely want to do. You should inquire about that, what you're definitely into. But I also want you to venture into what you may want to do. Just be open-minded. Because I can look back on several occasions where I judged the musician, let's say, on the technical ability, but I had no idea about the person's ability to perform and just connect with an audience. Those are things that you just have to learn and understand. So understand, to be open-minded also means to understand the chessboard of life. You're moving to try to improve your situation always and to enrich your abilities as a player. But the other players are also trying to do that, hopefully. So if there's a musician that you see that maybe you are judging in some way that's not technical, you may not like certain things, try to see the whole picture. They may have other attributes that you don't know about. So keep an open mind at all times and know what you want to do specifically, as I said, and open to what you may want to do. I think that is extremely important, because things are moving at the same time between musicians. Certain musicians leave, some come back in, you leave, you do other things. I want to instill in drummers, because you're not the chief songwriter or the collaborator on writing the tunes, you have to adjust. Obviously, I would think that you would want to join a band if it's already established, where they're only looking for the drummer. If they're looking for a drummer, bass player, guitar player, keyboard player, it makes it more difficult for you to work within that context. That's not to say if you found a singer that was really extraordinary or had some songs that you really liked, but there is logistics. If a singer has let's say a couple of great songs that they sent you, but they don't have a band, it makes it difficult. So try to key in on bands that are more established, that you can bring your skills to the table. If you cannot find that and you're in a smaller city or whatever, then you have to work with what you're dealing with. Obviously, if you're in New York, Los Angeles, or another city, you have more opportunities to work with different situations. But if you are not, you're in a very small town, I want you to key in on any one of those musicians and find the best that suits you and that can help you grow. That's as simple as I can make this video. I've made lots of mistakes. I prejudged musicians that I should not have done based on things that were not important. Let's say that they didn't play well enough, which was true maybe to a certain extent, but they did other things well. They were great at organizing projects. Or contradiction to that would be guys who were had other issues and problems, were late, and various other problems, let's say, but they had other things that were positive. So I want a good drummer who's not the collaborator on the songs and the band, in order to grow as a drummer, you do have to assess, reliable players and these sort of things. But try to think outside the box how it can help you grow as a player and within the context of where you live. Geographic location is the situation. If you want to open up more opportunities, then you'd have to go to places where there is more musicians that you can work with. But with the advent of technology and the ability to find out who's playing and what they're doing and exchanging songs and ideas, try to see it in terms of how you would fit in and grow. Hopefully this makes sense to you, because I've made lots of mistakes of prejudging other musicians, prejudging situations, and I should not have done that. I've made some good moves too, hopefully, or at least I look back on them, I thought they were good. And you have to assess all the time, am I growing as a player by doing this? Whatever that means to you, all right? Now, if you have specific questions, feel free to ask me always. I don't know every variable, so it's difficult to be accurate, but I'll help in any way I can. That's the idea of my channel. I like growing, no doubt, but it's in the context of helping and to help you grow, all right? That's kind of the basic idea here. I want to improve your technical ability, your independence and your power, and most importantly, your creativity. But you have to be able to project that to other musicians and grow, okay? I'm on Twitter.com/Drummers Against and Facebook, Drummers Against Implied Timekeeping. And thank you for your support always. If you haven't, please subscribe, because your subscription is the name of the game, and I thank you for that always. It's just great when I know that you've come along and are growing with me. I also have a PayPal account. I'm not going to use Patreon. I don't like it as much. I have issues with them. So I'll leave that in the comment section. Your support is always greatly appreciated on that. So this is kind of like a general rule of thumb, pretty simple as I can make it. Look for things that appeal to you, eliminate what does not appeal to you, venture out and be open-minded to things that you may not normally be into outside of what you're definitely into. Watch and grow within the context. If you cannot grow in that context, you're right, you have to reassess right away. This takes experience and time, but just utilize your time effectively and well. Because you're in a band situation, you want to grow as efficiently as you can. If you're in a situation that it's not growing, it's problematic, always reassess, all right? Is this helping me grow? All right, as a general rule of thumb. My best to always, I'm dealing with some stuff now that I'm using the toms. I got my high tom back. And after, 5.5 years, 6 years without a tom, it's back. A 10x10 Remo Master Touch, or Master Edge. And I'm going to incorporate some different things with triplets. I want to show you that. Okay? So let me know what you think, how to join a band. Take care.